hope you're doing well. I want to come with you with another success story here. We got Pat, we got Nicole here who have just kicked ass. They've taken names. They've chewed some bubble gum here, and they've had a baby as well along the way. And I want to introduce them to the community here, and really just share your story. And Mason.
Mason.
Hey!
There he is.
His first video. And what we'll do is want to share their journey with you guys, because the truth is, as I was just saying to you guys, is that everyone can do it. No matter where you are on this journey, everyone can get up and get going here. So I want to share your story about where you guys were, where you guys have come from, or where you guys are today here, the journey along the way here. And so you ready to get started?
You're ready.
Awesome. So let's start here. I'll start off with the first question. Why did you guys decide to do coaching? Like, how did you guys get to the point where you said, hey, we're going to take the leap of faith and jump in?
I think it was more so Nicole.
Okay.
She's always the one looking after, make sure the bills are paid, the mortgage is being paid, and me, I was just giving her money every month. Okay, here you go, and she's doing it. But and then like one day we sat down and we spoke about our debt, and then what were our goals in life, 5-10 years from now, and it seemed like we weren't getting anywhere. And Nicole, for some reason, started looking online and came across you guys and convinced me to have a meeting. Who was the gentleman we had?
Is it Nick?
Nick.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Shout out to Nick.
And we had a conversation with him one night, and he convinced the both of us to, hunker down and get our debt cleared. And at first, we asked him, like, can we think about it for a night?
Yeah.
Because it was like we didn't believe it could be done. Yeah. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm like, let's take a gamble. I'm like, let's just do it. Let's see if it'll work. It worked. Maybe it won't work, but at least we tried to move forward in our life and get our debt cleared.
Yeah.
Well, we've proved ourselves wrong. Huge. Like it's amazing what we've accomplished in
a little amount of time.
In like 6-7 months of joining the program and just hunkering down, putting every last penny towards debt, and it's just been some amazing and how far we've come.
That's amazing. Well, obviously, the next question everyone's going to wonder here is how much have you guys? What's been the turnaround? How much debt have you paid off? How much you've been able to save? And obviously, you've done all this while having a baby too. So I'm going to assume there's been some income reduction. If you're staying at home. But that's obviously the next question. Well, let's walk through that. What's been the turnaround for you guys?
Oh God, I don't. I every time we talk to Jen, she's like, well, let's look at our debt snowball. And I think we had to save for our emergency fund.
Yeah.
And then I think with that, we've paid off at least $15,000.
Like $15,000 to $17,000 that we paid off.
Yeah.
Amazing.
That's since January.
Yeah. That's really good. That's really good.
We had one meeting with Jennifer, and she's like, okay, so here's what you're going to do. And then we're going to come back and revisit this and see what we're, see where we're at. And it was unreal. The way she, that's one thing I have to say is that you guys are so supportive. I couldn't find one negative. If you asked me to pinpoint one negative thing, there's nothing I could actually pinpoint as a negative. Your videos were very informative, really easy to follow, which I liked because I'm, in and out of babies and children.
Yes. Yeah, you're busy.
Yeah, you can pause it, go back to it when you need to.
Yeah.
And like I couldn't wait to open the next week. Like I was like, come on, I need to know what's next. It's like, okay, so sort out your life, figure out your finances. What are you bringing in? What's going out? And then it's like, okay, so now that you have all this magical money pushed aside because you're actually like paying attention to where your money's going, you can put that on your debt. And it was unbelievable. Like, we paid Pat's truck off the first month.
Nice.
Yeah.
The first 2 weeks we were able to pay my truck off.
Yeah.
I want to give you like a virtual props, That's awesome.
That's something we would have left open for another year, right? Like we would have just kept paying that off every month, and
but even then, like it was a $350 payment that I was doing. Well, once that year was up, that would have just been a $350 monthly payment I would have just kept to myself.
Yeah.
Instead, I grabbed that and I'm like, Kate, what's next on
The chopping block.
the chopping block? Like, what's
Yeah.
the lowest debt that we have that we could get rid of right away?
Yeah.
With furniture, credit cards, whatever it may be, we were able to tap that out fast. And
Yeah.
that was the one thing I noticed, like, yeah, we still have a lot of debt that we want to get rid of, but it's going out faster than what we've imagined it would ever go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a plan, right? And that's what
Yeah.
I kept saying to Jennifer was, okay, we have a plan, which when I'm laying, and when you asked us why we kind of started, he forgot to mention that I'm a ball of stress. And I was laying awake stressing all night. Like, what are we gonna do? You're like, how are we gonna do this? We have a baby on the way. We just bought a house. Like, I just felt so trapped. And you guys have totally opened our eyes to like money and finance. Like, they need to teach a class about this in school, because
Absolutely.
God, if we would have known these things 10 years ago, like, we'd be in such a different situation now.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're absolutely right. Absolutely needs to be taught, because there's so many people, and like you guys, and even myself, I get it, become adults. We've got no idea what to do. It's been passed down from my parents, or maybe it hasn't because they don't know anything. And we go 5, 10, 15 years and like, what the hell? I
Yeah.
thought we were doing something right. And, we've got all this debt, and you talked about stress and all that. I mean, I lived it myself. And so you're absolutely right. This stuff needs to be out there more than it is.
Yeah.
Can I ask, you said more out of curiosity, how did we meet? I know you said online.
Yeah.
Was it Facebook? Was it just, you kind
Yeah.
of Googled get out of debt, or?
She found it and then she mentioned to me, I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, I was scrolling. I think, when you're talking and like your phone picks up on your conversation.
The phone heard you.
So it was probably listening to me freak out on Pat one night, like, oh my God, what are we gonna do? Blah, blah, blah. So I found you on Facebook. It was through Facebook. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Your stories kind of showed up, and then like I submitted my email, and we were getting more, like, I was looking at people's progress stories, I guess. What do they call that?
The results, yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, hey, how are these people paying off like $20,000 like this? Like, come on.
And here you are, 6 months, 7 months later, here you are, now celebrating the same results. I think, you said 15 to 17, and then obviously you guys have the emergency fund as well.
Yeah.
Which got you up there as well. Is this the most amount of debt that you guys have paid off in any, I'll say in about a 6 month period? Is this the
Oh
most
my
you guys
God,
have paid
yeah.
off?
I've never, go back 6 months ago, I would have never thought that, between Nicole and myself, that we would have paid off, say, roughly $16,000 worth of debt in 6 months.
Let's say 20, like 20 grand, right?
It seems impossible, right?
We would have been laughing if that was possible.
Yeah. And here you are.
Yeah. Witchcraft.
There's no secrets. No, there's no spell. But yeah, no, that's awesome. I'm really proud of you guys for that.
Yeah. Well, and I think you've missed out on one part though, Nicole, and when you were describing how things happen, you guys were like defiantly committed to making it happen. Like waiting for the next module to drop, like showing up, taking names, like you guys got stuff done. Not only did you come up with your plan, but you followed it.
Which is huge.
Yeah.
Wait, you gave me projects. I was on a mission. But that's what I loved about it. I mean, you're just such a wonderful person to deal with to begin with. Like I was saying the last time we talked, right? But you every week you were like, okay, like, so this week we're working on this, and I'd send it to you, and your feedback was always very positive, which made me want to do more, right? So I'm like, okay, cool. She liked that, so now I'm gonna do this, right?
Yeah. You were an A+ student.
I always did do well in school.
And it has served you well here as well.
Yeah. But that's, you just need to have the tools, right? And we very much appreciate everything that you guys have done. It was well worth like we called it our investment, right? So we're investing into the program, and look what it's brought us. Like it's given us not only a way to tackle our debt, but also the aftermath. So like, what are we going to do once everything's paid off? And our kids have such a brighter future now. We have a brighter future. Pat knows how to become a millionaire by the time he's like 50.
That's cool.
Yeah. I'll be a little bit older.
That's weird though. That's so weird. Millionaire by 50.
Right?
Who does that these days?
I know, it's crazy. But
That's awesome.
that's just it. If somebody, it's like a bar trick, somebody walks up to you with a drink in their hand at the bar and they're like, hey, do you want to become a millionaire by the time you're 50? I know how you can do it. And you're like, no.
You don't buy that course.
Yeah.
You don't listen to that guy's advice. Yeah.
So that I have nothing but positive, wonderful things to say about you guys and everything that you offer. It really was worth every penny that we invested into it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's changed our life a lot and how to save money and put our money where it needs to go, and especially me. Like Nicole knew when she started dating me that I had a very bad spending habit. And I will do admit this program has dramatically cut back on my spending habits.
Because now he sees what happens with your money, right? Like you
Yeah.
can actually see it coming in, going out, and
Where it's going, what it's doing here, the opportunity cost that's available, with it. Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. So how are you guys feeling now? How are you feeling now that you're on this next leg of the journey? You've paid off a bunch of debt, and compared to where you were feeling last year, where are you guys landing?
much better.
Oh yeah.
And like I said, especially with being off, your finances are cut back and whatnot. Like I would have been crying in the corner somewhere, ripping my hair out because like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? Things have changed and we're not bringing in as much money. Now we have a plan and we can like pre-plan for tiny humans coming into our lives. And
Yeah.
the next car, and the next this, the next that, right? So
Yeah.
I feel better.
I do as well.
Can I ask, you were saying you guys feel better. Where were you guys 12 months ago? Was there a lot of stress? Was there a lot of anxiety?
Yeah, there
Compared
was
to
a lot
today,
of,
where were you guys a year ago?
a lot of stress a year ago. A year ago today, we had literally just moved into our house.
Wow.
And that was a big step for me because I basically like moved out of mom and dad's house and like bought a house. So
Yeah.
it's like, now it's like, okay, now I got hydro, I got water, I got mortgage. So for me, there was a lot of stress. And then it was like a month after we moved into the house, he was on the way. So for me, I had a lot of stress coming in because it was a lot for me to take in and to adjust. But I managed stress a lot better than Nicole does. I kind of just like, I go to bed, I wake up, it's a new day.
Yeah.
I move on. I don't let it consume me. Nicole, it consumes her. But over time, around Christmas time is when we found your program.
Okay.
I was stressing out a lot about no money and then, debt and whatnot. And then she mentioned the program and as like we said, it was an investment. Let's try it out. Win or lose, at least we say we tried it.
Yeah.
And looking back a year ago now to today, I'm glad we did this and
We're not so stressed.
we're not stressed as what we were. Like it's been great. Like Jennifer's been great,
She's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
Yeah, she's pretty bad. No, I love it. I love that you guys have, a year ago, everything going on a year ago, the stress, the life change. Today, there's a plan for the future. And let's transition. Let's talk about that because I heard you say a couple things. I heard millionaire by 50, but let's start here. How long until you're completely 100% consumer debt free? Do you have that timeline?
Within the next year,
Next year we'll be completely debt free.
we hope.
We hope we
That's the
be
hope.
debt free. At that point, we'll just have a mortgage.
But that's
Amazing.
talking like $80,000.
Like
That's awesome.
we started off
$80,000.
$80,000 worth of debt.
Yeah,
And that's going to be paid off within 24 months, it sounds like, start
Yeah.
to bottom.
that's the goal. I'm
Good
on a
job.
mission.
Amazing.
Yeah, sounds like you're on a mission. You can't stop a person on a mission, right?
No,
No.
No.
and
you know,
that's with mat leave and daycare, and we're factoring all of that crazy expenses into it too. So.
you must be uber rich then.
No.
That's what most people are going to think. These people must be uber rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wish. I mean,
Yeah.
we're not starving to death or anything to do it, but it's putting your money, like, you don't know where it's going when you're just swiping your card every day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's counting every penny, and that makes such a difference. Like, oh my God. And we've cut a lot out of our lives. Like, we were putting, $100 into cable, where you can get a Fire Stick for $50 on Amazon, and you have more than you could ever need, right? Like, it literally gives you everything. So it's stuff like that the program has taught us, and like Jennifer has like encouraged us to do. Insurance. Oh my God, we've saved so much money in insurance. There all those little things that you kind of just everyday humdrum, I guess you could call it, that you don't think about until you actually start picking stuff apart.
Yeah.
And that's where we're like, holy crap, we've saved so much money just by switching cable and just by switching insurance companies. And like right there, that's like $500 a month we found, so
like, just cutting back on things that we don't need. Like, is it a need or a want? Right?
Yeah.
And that was a big thing for me, because like I'm a mechanic and I need tools.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely.
I'll go back a few months ago. She's like, you're going to be going off work for 7 months to watch Mason. She goes, why do you keep buying tools? I'm like, well, I need tools. I'm a mechanic. She goes, just borrow them. So I'm like, well, yeah, like, I guess so. So like, I completely like stopped buying tools, and that was an average for me. Oh, I was an average almost $500 a month.
Wow.
Buying tools.
Yeah, it's big, right?
That's huge.
Because when the tools are so expensive, you don't pay them out in full.
Yeah.
You do weekly payments on them, but I got into the habit of being like, add it to my bill, add it to my bill, add it to my bill. Like, I was racking up like almost $2,000 for a tool bill, and I'm just like, this is gonna take me like a year to pay off, because I only do $100 payment. But thing is, I have 4 tool trucks that come to my work every week.
They know how to get.
They know how to get you.
So she told me to cut back on that, and so I stopped spending money on my tool trucks. And I love hunting and fishing, and she really cracked down on me this year to stop buying gear, stop going looking at guns. You don't need any more rifles, you don't need more shotguns. So it's just like, she really helped me, but the program helped me out too, because our snowball, you could see the money.
Every month you can kind of see it going, right?
And then it was a routine for us. Like, every time we had a meeting with Jennifer every month or what, so it was like, okay, this is how much you brought in, this is how much I brought in, this is where that went to that debt, this debt, that debt. Cool, now we have $500 left over that month. That probably went towards the tool debt or the tool trucks. Let's put it towards another debt.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it was nice, because we could see it in a snowball every month, or every time we had a meeting with Jennifer. And
it's coming down, right?
It's coming down, yeah.
it was nice.
I was just saying, we live by this concept: live like no one else today, so that you can live like no one else tomorrow. Essentially do things today that other people aren't willing to do, so that you'll be able to do things tomorrow that you won't be able to do, right? And so let's talk about tomorrow, because I heard some numbers here. We obviously have a whole lesson on I don't call it the $1 million lesson, but we got a lot of people that learn how to become millionaires because of that lesson. I heard somewhere, did I hear Freedom 50, Freedom 55 in terms of you becoming a millionaire there?
Yeah.
For him, yeah.
For me.
Awesome.
He's a young buck.
He's a young buck. And if you don't mind me asking, how old are you right now?
I'm 26.
Okay, 26. So we're talking, what, 24 years?
Yeah.
Debt-free millionaire.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I go back a year ago, or back when I was in high school, I would have never thought at the age of 26 I'd be doing this program to help me become a millionaire at 50 and retire, and I'll actually be able to just live off the interest at 50.
I know.
And just let my money grow, and then when I pass and move on, I set his future up.
Yeah. Well, forget Freedom 55. We're talking Freedom 50 here. A whole nother trend coming. Freedom 50. Let me ask you guys this, and I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask you anyways. If I was to write you guys a check and give you the investment back in exchange for your old situation back, you had to go back to where you were 6-7 months ago, would you take that exchange?
No. Sorry.
Keep your own money, you know.
Yeah, like the money, you're like, oh, I love money, but I'm like, no.
No, it's got to be one of the best investments that Nicole and I have like ever made.
Yeah.
Amazing. I'm so glad to hear that. And you know, I mean, listen, we showed you how to do it, but you guys did it. And so, you know, all the thanks goes to you guys, and all the congratulations goes to you guys because you put in the work. We just guided you and said, hey, here, and you guys are doing the work. You're finally committed to getting the results. So, kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
I wish I had found you when I was 20.
You'd be Freedom 52, right?
Yes.
Maybe even Freedom 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we hear that a lot, and it's, you know, and that's part of why we do this, is to get to those who, again, are on the sidelines and who are stuck, or who are, you know, young, and they're hoping that the next credit card or the next 0% interest will help them.
Yeah.
But I think you guys spoke to that, you know, the real results are in that step by step here. Let me ask you guys this: what would you say to those who are in a similar situation to where you guys were, you know, 12 months ago? Scared, they're stressed, they're like, you guys, is this gonna work? Who's Mike? I don't know. What would you say to them?
There's hope. 100% there's hope, and there's totally a light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, absolutely.
And these people are amazing. So
Awesome. So for all of you out there that are listening to this, or watching this, or you're hearing about this, there's hope. You don't have to spend the rest of your life. You don't have to be the average Canadian, the average American who's going to live paycheck to paycheck for their whole life, have nothing in retirement, and struggle with, you know, CPP or, you know, old age security if you're in the U.S. There is hope for you, and hey, maybe Freedom 50 is in your future, maybe Freedom 40 or Freedom 60. Who cares? There's freedom in your future if you're willing to work a plan. And really execute execute here like we have and like we talked about the last couple of months. And so, hey, if you're interested, no pressure. We've got that free training. I think that's what you went through, Nicole, right?
Yeah.
Was that training, the 5 shifts or the 5 steps to kiss that goodbye,
Yeah.
Or whatever we were calling it at the time. Go through the exact same training. We're going to walk through the 5 steps that people are doing here to get, you know, to pay off to see a $20,000 turnaround in 4 to 5 to 6 months. I'm going to walk you through what everyone's doing to get there. And then if it resonates with you, if you feel good about it, hop on that call. And you're going to talk to a guy like Nick, who's a good old Canadian guy. Ginger, actually, he's an Ontario guy. He's in BC now, but he's an awesome guy. I love Nick. And he's going to walk you through if we can help you. If we can't, he'll let you know that. But if we can, he'll walk you through, like you guys, exactly how to do that. And so let me end it here. Any last words of wisdom, any last words of encouragement that you want to share with the community? No pressure.
Well, I had said it to Jennifer once, and she was like, "Oh, that's such a great thing." The time's gonna pass anyway, so you might as well make it worth your while, right?
Yeah.
Wow, powerful.
Yeah.